Great. On to the second one. Okay, so this is the first introduction to workspaces. Now, there are multiple ways to get into workspaces. The first of which is going into the search, opening a report, which will load a workspace. Think of a workspace as a container that can hold mul multiple objects, such as views, visualizations, etc. Now, what I'm going to do is I can go through search, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to create one from scratch. So I'm going to click here on workspaces. I currently don't have any workspaces, so I click on new workspace. And that loads a blank container. As you can see here, the system is going, add something to your workspace page. Use the following shortcuts. So down here we have three different types. So we have a view, text, or image. So I'm going to go into view, and what that will do is it'll start to pull through every single object within my repository. Okay, so I've got 316 reports, also known as lists, 82 chart visualizations, and 120 metrics. Now, in the previous overview, I discussed the concept of tags, and you can see here that I have various things that are already tagged to also give context. So we use tags instead of the old system, which was involving, for example, folders. So I might say that I'm kind of interested in, let's have a look, scroll down and go to global again, and I'm going to say that I only want to see global views. So here we have global org, restated balance sheet. Okay, so I'm going to click on trial balance here. Now, as you can see here, we have a loading symbol which indicates that in the background what's happening is that the report is being loaded and pulled from the database and executed. So at this point, unfortunately, we're not getting much data back at all. However, let's add on another one. So I'm going to go back into add view and global org transactions. Let's have a look at this one. So I can continue to keep on adding views to my report to make it more relevant. So I think, well, I know the limit right now is 8 views per page, but I can add on multiple pages if I need to. So we have one report here, another report, another report. Okay, so what I might do is I might add on some text. So this pops up a little box, and I'm going to say this is my example workspace, and I do want to display the title. I click save, and all that does is it creates another little object within my workspace. Likewise, if I want to, I can add an image. So I can go in here and go browse. Let's have a look. What do we got here that's not too large? And then I might call this example image. So the whole concept here is that we can create a workspace that's based on the concept of multiple reports or visualizations in order to make it very easy for people to be able to design something that looks relatively nice. So, for example, there's my text, my example image. Now, while I've been doing this, some of you may have noticed that there's a star against my untitled workspace. Now the star indicates that we have a non-saved workspace. Now this is one of the nice things about Hutful in comparison to, for example, normal Insight, and that when we're doing this, it's automatically saving untitled workspace. So I can save this now. What I'm going to do is just example video. Okay, and you notice how the star's removed. But what I can do is, let's just say if I wanted to change my workspace, you see how it's registered that I have now modified example video. The good thing is underneath the hood, we still have the original example video and a saved modified version of example video. It means that you can play around with it as long as you got that star there, the original one is still saved. So, carrying on then. We've gone ahead and we've added a few views, I've added my text, and I've added my image. Now, I might want to make this more comprehensive, so let's think like an end of year or an end of month financial pack. What I can do is I can add another page. So I click over here in the right dialog, page. I'm just going to call the current one something basic. First page. Hit enter. Then I'm going to say I want to have another page, second page. Now, for this one here, I might want to add my global org transactions with extended filters. Now, there's a couple of little icons that pop up within here. The first one is to increase the size of it, okay, to make it full screen. The other one is the options associated with it. So I have the ability to refresh the individual view. I can move to a page. In this case here, I'm already following it. It was one of the reports that was pulled up by the recommendations, but we'll get into that one later. Or I can bookmark it, which will add it within the bookmark side of things. I can also close it. Just for the purposes of showing a page, however, I'm going to click on Move to Page. What this does is it gives me a little pop-up. Now I can create a new page at this point, or I can use the existing one that I created. Both are fine. For the sake of easy, I'm just going to say second page. Click Save. As you can see now, I now have a little control down here, page 1 of 2. I click Next. I now have my page 2 with the report that I had earlier. Now, once you go over a few pages, multiple views, text and images, you probably want to see some form of summary, and that's where the table of contents comes in. So at the top here, I go to this little book, I click on it, and you can see here that I have another visual bug. Untitled page should be first page, and second page with my report. Now, for those who want to track back, this is quite nice. If I hover, so let's just give it a second. Okay. There's another bug here in that if I hover over this, what I should be able to see is a little pop-up that gives me the location within the underlying administration application folder. Remember that Hubble in itself is folder independent. As long as you've got permissions, it will show up. This is one of the places though you should be able to determine where it came from within the repository. Okay, so I can skip between the pages. I can add additional content. I can maximize or move into the same place. So that covers workspace number 1.